Video 4.5 Azure Storage Services. In this video, we will cover the following topics: Azure Disk Storage and Azure Blob Storage, how to create Azure Disk Storage and attach it to a VM, how to create a Blob container and store files in it, how to retrieve information from Blob storage. All devices like laptops, computers, and mobile phones need to store data. All the files created are stored in the hard disk or nowadays SSD. It is fine to use physical storage for normal applications. Often, large enterprises have lots of data to store which is dynamic. So it is not good to use physical hard disks to store the data because the data increases dynamically and it becomes difficult to manage the hardware physically. Besides, you will also need to grapple with the problem of backing up your data. Instead, data can be stored in the cloud. There are various services provided by cloud service providers. Let us now discuss the Azure Disk Storage and Azure Blob Storage, which are some of the ways in which you can store data in the Azure cloud. Disk storage is the general storage which we all have in our computers and laptops. Suppose you have lots and lots of data on your computer. The hard disk does not have any free space anymore. Then you need to get a hard disk of a bigger size and place it in your computer. Similarly, assume you are using a virtual machine and you need extra storage space. Then Azure Disk Storage can be used, which can be attached to the VM. It is a persistent data storage or non-volatile storage, which means it retains the data even after it is shut down. It is used when the storage is not accessed outside of the VMs. You can choose between SSD or HDD. HDD is a hard disk drive. It is a disk that keeps rotating and an arm on it will read or write data. SSD is a solid-state drive that contains chips that stores the data. Blob stands for Binary Large Object. It can be used to store log files, images, videos, audios, text or binary data, etc. Have you noticed something? The things stored in blob storage need not have any particular structure. It can store large amounts of unstructured data. Azure Blob Storage is an object serverless storage. Similar types of blobs can be grouped as containers. So inside a storage account, containers can be created, and these would be a grouping of similar types of blobs or a grouping based on your requirements. You can pay for what you use and the storage is unlimited. It is elastic, scalable, and secure. Let us now walk through the creation of Azure Disk Storage. The disk storage needs to be attached to a VM, as mentioned earlier. Sign in to your Azure account and search for disks. Click Add and create a new resource group named my-AZ-900-disk-demo-rg. Give a name to the disk. I am naming it Disk for VM so that it is easy to recognize. Let us use some other size, so click on Change the size and select the P6 and click OK. Now go to Encryption, leave everything as default, and then in Tags, nothing needs to be added. After that, Review plus Create. Check everything and click Create. You will be notified that the disk is being deployed. Wait for some time till the disk gets created. Now let us create a VM to attach the disk storage. Search for virtual machines on the home page and select it. Click Add, and in the Basics tab, fill the information. Select the resource group which we have created for disks. Give a name to the VM and select the size of the VM as standard B1S. Leave the remaining as default and go to the Disks tab. A default OS disk will be present. We need to attach the disk storage that we have created earlier. Click Attach an existing disk and select the disk we have created earlier. LUN is just a number given by default. Now click Review plus Create. Check everything and select Create. There will be a pop-up asking you to download the private key. Download it and wait for some time for the VM's deployment to be successful. After the deployment, go to the virtual machine and then Disks. This is the disk that we have attached. We can even add a disk by clicking this icon. Congrats! You have successfully deployed a VM and attached disk storage to it. Let us now delete everything that we have created. Go to Home, Resource Groups, and select the resource group and click Delete Resource Group. The disk, VM, etc., everything will be deleted. Enter the resource group and click Delete. Wait for some time for the deletion to complete. Let us now create a storage account. Search for storage account on the home page and select it. Click Add. In the Basics tab, create a resource group named My-AZ-900-Blob-Demo. Give a name to the storage account. It should be globally unique. Change the replication to locally redundant storage or LRS and leave the remaining as default. Click Review plus Create. After validation, click Create. Wait for the notification that the account was successfully created. Click Go to Resource and scroll to the Blob Service section and then click Containers. It can also be found here. Click the container and give a name to the container and click Create. You have created a blob container successfully. Any kind of file can be stored in this. I created an empty text file to upload to this blob container. Select Upload and then choose the file which you want to upload. Once the file is uploaded, right-click on the file and notice the options like View or Edit, Download, Properties, and Delete. Now let us see how we can monitor the storage account. From the home page, select the storage account. Here, select the storage account which you have just created. Click Diagnose and Solve Problems. Here you can find some of the most common storage problems. The problems can also be troubleshooted. Scroll down to the Monitoring section and click Insights. Notice there is information on failures, performance, availability, and capacity. You have learned the creation of a storage account and adding a container and also monitoring it. Let us now delete the storage account. Select the storage account and hit Delete. Enter the name and it will be deleted. In summary, in this video, we have covered the following topics: Azure Disk Storage and Azure Blob Storage, how to create Azure Disk Storage and attach it to a VM, how to create a blob container and store files in it, how to retrieve information from blob storage. In the next video, we will learn about Azure VNets and subnets.